Here we're going to look at how we can build team reports. So if we head to the top right hand corner here, we can create a new team report. And now I'm going to begin building. So clicking into the first square in the grid, I've got a few options here. The first one we're going to go for is combined test, and our report's going to be called wellness and training load. And we'll go through all of the widgets and how we can link them to these two parameters. So first off, we'll choose combined test, and this one I'm going to call readiness for the team. Just give it a label, and I can choose circle chart. The data I'm going to select is any combined test that you have in your test collection. For this case, I'm going to choose readiness, and I'm going to want to include all of the subtests as well. So if I scroll across, I'll be able to see all of the subtests and how it's going to display. I'm also going to compare that to the previous day here. Once I save and close this, now we've got our readiness for that team throughout the whole month of February. Next up, I'm going to create a key values widget to have a look at our training load that we've done throughout the month. So let's call this one training load for the team. And here for the data, I'm going to fill in a bunch of parameters here. So training load first, then total load, score. I'm going to choose the average, and I'm going to change the name of this value to average load for all. And you can obviously edit your own data and update the values as you like. So let's add in a bunch more of these. Total load intensity, I'm going to look at the average. I'm going to copy paste this, but I'm going to call it average RPE. So instead of the score, we're looking at the intensity level. We're also going to do the duration, so how long on average the team's been training. And again, we'll paste this in and change this to average time. And then we're going to look a little bit more specifically at the type of team training, game training, and strength training that the squad's been doing. So I'm going to select score again and average, and this time I'm going to change it to average load, but it's team training here this time. We can move these around to place them. So if I wanted to have average time here at the top, it would be the first one that displays, and then I'm going to add in the last one, which is going to be strength training. Save and close this. Now I've got 6 pretty important values that we can have a look at to see the RPE and training load of our squad. Next up, we're going to create a table widget, and we're going to link that to the readiness for each player. So clicking on table here, I'm going to choose the test collection, and then I'm going to choose readiness. Then I'm going to go through and I'm going to add all of the subtests within readiness. So I can go to my folders, open up the readiness, and then I can select each one. And once I have those all selected, I can choose to sort. We'll do by descending, which shows us the lowest score first. And we'll make sure that we have the color dot enabled. I'm going to turn on all of these except for alternating columns. Save and close. Let's open up our table. And now we can see the readiness scores for our squad. It has a color dot if they have a score that's below a certain number. And we can also see all of the answers that they had on average for the month. Next up, we're going to build a chart and have a look at the monthly training load for the squad in terms of weeks. So here again, create a new chart. The time frame here, I'm going to choose weeks, and then I'm going to select training load, total load, score, and then the sum. And I'm going to choose to show the team average, and the average type is a line. And you can see as I turn these on and off, you're going to see it update over on the right hand side. So now save and close that. And now we can see each entry for the players' training load broken up into weeks. So the last widget in the list here is table with periodization. So let's go and create a training load table so we can have a look at the values for every single day in February. This time I'm going to choose time frames for days. I'm going to tick this box here as well, which has ignore columns with no data, which is important if you want to hide any entries that weren't registered. So any data that's not there from the athletes, it's not going to have a blank cell. It's going to make your table look a lot nicer. And here in the columns, I'm going to choose training load, total load, and score. And then we're going to make sure latest is ticked. And then I'm going to go down and I'm going to add linear coloring. And we'll click total load as the source. And then we can change the type to red, yellow, and green, which is going to choose red for a high training load and green for a low load score. Let's add summary statistics as well and have those below the table. And then we can see that the date with the name and number are going vertically up. We can just take this off by clicking vertical header, and now we can see that looks a bit nicer. Save and close. Scroll down and open up our table, and now we can see for all of the days from the end of February to the beginning, and we can obviously go back and sort it from 1st to 28th in the settings. We have the training load values for each player, and they're marked in a particular color depending if they were overtraining or undertraining. So all of these widgets that we've created, they're applicable in many instances. You don't have to use them for wellness and training load. If you have any questions, you can always reach out to your country manager or email us at support@sidelinesports.com. Thanks for watching.